we see later in season 5 it becomes more authoritarian.
We go from Atticus tailing Z to Z tailing Atticus.
Pilot is not stepping up and taking his responsibilities seriously.
All I can say is it's very confusing as to where the two characters stand.
Great question, and very informed question. Hi.
Hello. My name is Brandon.
Elijah.
I know you're a dog person.
I am.
What's your favorite breed?
My favorite breed has to be the Bloodhound Idaho Shag Wolfhound mix that I just rescued.
Wow, okay.
And her name is Rosie Grace, and we know she's half Bloodhound, right? The other half, her humans claimed that she was Idaho Shag. Have you ever heard of Idaho Shag?
I have not.
I'd never heard of an Idaho Shag breed. So I think she's German wire-haired terrier.
Okay.
But she's been called a wolfhound.
Yeah.
And I'm a big wolf fan.
Yeah.
You know, the wolf is my spirit animal, and I also belong to several organizations. I'm ambassador for wildlife advocacy groups that help create awareness and education around apex predators, wolves, coyotes, the California black bear. So I've always wanted a wolf. So I'm going to say wolfhound. Favorite breed is a wolfhound, and my favorite dog in the world is the dog that the Hawaiians have a word for protector. So we use human or sometimes owners, like we take ownership of our pets, our dogs. They have a word. It's kehu in Hawaiian, and it means protector. So you're an animal's protector. And I love that. So I'm Rosie's kehu. Even though I'm not Hawaiian, I'm gonna appropriate that term. And it's a wolfhound.
I love it. We have a Rhodesian Ridgehound Black Cur mix. So she's pretty.
Beautiful.
But back to The Chosen.
Yes.
Season 5 coming up for Atticus. It's looking really, really interesting in terms of your relationships with Caiaphas, with Pilate. Particularly with Pilate, you've kind of been deemed as like this Obi-Wan type figure with him. However, you're turning more into almost like a Darth Vader in this season a little bit, kind of pushing him beyond the bounds and really pressuring him to do the job that you know that he needs to do, but he's not sure if he can. Unequipped a little bit. Dallas has kind of named him as like this art student that got pushed into this job. And so what are your thoughts about that relationship there?
Great question, and very informed question. The relationship goes through many changes, from beginning to where we are now, where we find both of them in season 5. Atticus really starts out as a mentor, like an Obi-Wan. I love that analogy. I accept. Atticus has a lot of experience. He's been around the block. He's brought back out of retirement, and he's asked by the Emperor to bolster this young man's confidence. A young man who's thrust into a role that he didn't choose. And Atticus comes onto the scene, like I said, as a mentor, an advisory capacity, as a consigliere, and a father figure. So there's definitely aspects of that in the relationship, and then we move from that into actually more of a parental role when Pilate is not stepping up and taking his responsibilities seriously, or he's not fully aware of the ramifications, the consequences if he doesn't do his job. So it switches to more of a parental role, and then we see later in season 5 it becomes more authoritarian because the conditions necessitate it. So Atticus really has to bring him along more quickly than he might like, in terms of taking on his rising to the expectations that the Emperor had of Pilate. So it becomes more intense, and Atticus also moves from advisor to actor.
Right.
He becomes much more a man of action, feeling that out of necessity he has to take charge himself.
Yeah.
So he really does. I mean, he's always had the power, but delegated more than taking it on himself.
Right.
He's more, like I said, more of an advisor.
Right.
But the stakes become so high, Atticus has to step in and start making decisions and putting boots on the ground, getting out in the field and taking charge.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Great talk.
Yeah,
Great question.
Appreciate it. But real quick, before we go to our next interview, let me tell you about something I'm really passionate about. This is Arts-A-Box. They're a company based out of Israel that works with local companies within Israel to send products all around the world. Every quarter, you could have a box come to your house from local vendors that work on local products, all handmade and amazing quality. Really, it's one of my most favorite companies to talk about on this channel, and I've been using them for the last 3 years. This month's box in particular is one of my favorites they have ever done. It's based around biblical archaeology. And so you can see here different things like a wax seal that's based off of a coin that they found from ancient Israel. And also this inkwell, which you can use to actually write Hebrew letters as they did in Qumran for the Dead Sea Scrolls. Now, this is an amazing company, but they've also given us an amazing deal. You can go to artsabox.com right now and type in SNIPE20 as your coupon code, and that will give you 20% off an annual or one-time subscription. With the annual subscription, you'll get 4 boxes a year, 1 each quarter, and that comes out to around $20 a month, which I think is an insane deal for the amount of things that you get in these boxes. Overall, what this company is doing is amazing. Not only do you get quality, amazing products from Israel that you could not get in the United States, but also you're supporting local businesses that are in real trouble right now over in Israel. There's not a lot of tourism going on, and so it's really hard for them to stay alive, and Arts-A-Box is helping them do that. So if you want to support local Israeli businesses as well as the channel, use code SNIPE20 at checkout at artsabox.com. The link is in the description down below. Now let's get back to the video. Hello, good to see you. How you doing, man?
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
How are you? Good to see you.
Season 5, here we go. So
my God.
almost here. Just
Way to
got
start
done
the day.
filming.
Yes.
How do you feel it went overall? Just general thoughts about season 5 so far.
I must say I love season 5. It already feels like my favorite already. It's the most intense and dramatically interesting to portray for me so far, and it feels like everything that we've been setting up until now is coming together and is making sense. We went from theory to practicality and to it's fascinating. Like all of our characters are coming out as in a very tangible way, and it makes it very rich and colorful and intense and dense and rich. It's going to be something. Yeah.
Now in season 5, at the same time that you're moving closer and closer to the apostles and getting this tight brotherhood, and of course the last week of Jesus' life, you're also re-encountering Atticus, and you're kind of seeing what's going on with him. He's arresting people. There may be zealots involved. We're not exactly sure what's happening there, on the outside at least. But what are your thoughts on that relationship there? He's had these several moments with Atticus in the past, and so now we're seeing these different things pop up, and we've even seen in the behind the scenes some talk of the zealots from Caiaphas and Pilate and some different things there. And so how does that all fit in there, and how does your character kind of move in that?
That is also a question I'm asking myself still. All I can say is it's very confusing as to where the two characters stand, Simon Z and Atticus. There's this back and forth thing where we don't know whether they're on the same side or not, and it's very confusing. They have different interests, but there's a lot of suspicion for sure. And all I can say is, like, we go from Atticus tailing Z to Z tailing Atticus, and the reasons I will leave to season 5 revealing them. But it was very interesting to kind of switch from one direction to the other, and see what shifts it brings to our interactions. Because this time I'm the one kind of coming at him with questions, and and you know, I'm wondering what he's doing, and it's like there's a lot of plots that are still not coming to light yet. So
that's amazing. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, of course.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. I hope you like this video, and if you want to see more just like this and see the reason why Judas is leaving The Chosen, then go ahead and check out this interview right here.